Boom.
Biddly, 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 bo. Yes, yes, yo. Here we go. Ain't nobody down round here. You know what time it is. Got to move back to get his greatness in. There's something behind my chair, but we pushed through it. Get that badger. In and on and over here. He's in, he's on, he's over, he's here. Ain't nobody down round here. It's game time. Clock watchers are in, but we've got some shout outs to do. The clock watchers are back, boy. Shout out to Wilco's Whites. So shout out to Wilco's Whites and shout out to Jamie Tobin, who both joined my members channel. The last live I had, I will be live tomorrow as planned every single Thursday, boys. Third week on bounce. Or I might have missed a week within that actually because there was a game on or something. I can't remember. I couldn't do it. Whatever. No, I think it's the third week on bounce. So 8 p.m. every single Thursday. We're going to try and keep the juices flowing. Keep that coming in. Maybe might up the ante, do one on a Tuesday as well. Drop in on a Tuesday. But for now, 8 o'clock on Thursdays. It's been going right well. So I appreciate every which one here. Please, please, please join me for that. We'll have a couple of San Miguel's or Archiegellas, Stellas. We don't know. So quick shit vid, we're dropping in, obviously international breaks here, which we need to discuss a bit of England, which I don't normally want to talk about particularly, to be perfectly honest, but there's been a few dropouts. I want to see what everybody's opinion is on that. We've got some Caribbean stuff to talk about, and I want to go over, because this has come up, and it's come up actually a few times, and like I always say, if something comes up, then it must come out. Now, we had the big loan chat last year. I don't think it's the same this year. Obviously, with the loans, we knew we were staying down in the Championship, and was on about potentially the loanees coming back. Obviously, a lot of them made the way out. Only really Aronson that came back. Jack Harrison. So, really does divide opinion, as we all know. Now, he's not having the best time at Everton, but Everton aren't having the best time. Everton are a really poor side, aren't they? I still maintain, I don't know why, he is the one that seems to get the pelters when we've got all these charlatans that have done one and showed nothing for the club whatsoever. At least Jack Harrison played for us for several years. It was time for him to move on. I thought everybody goes, we're not fucking Sentimental FC, JC. It's not Sentimental AFC. It's Sentimental FC. Like, no, I know that. But, surely that would be the case where Jack Harrison then, who was a decent servant to the club, he's one of the ones that I'd accept to go, oh, no, he's probably about 28, 29, is he like, you get your sent out, lad, and get some Premier League football, like, well done, you have served your purpose here. Why is it that when a loanee goes, when he's been in the Championship with us, stayed with us, Jesse Marsh wanted him out of the door at one point in the league when we were on his way down with that mongoloid. So, I think he made his move. Everybody goes on about that thing where he said, I want to make history at Leeds, and he signed a contract or whatever. They have to say certain stuff for PR. There's no doubt about that. It happened to Rutter when he went to Brighton and they were doing the don't go to sleep just yet type thing, and whether or not he knew about all that or whatever, it doesn't really matter. But the point is they're made into doing these things. You have to come out. I remember Hasselbank, Hasselbank got absolutely pelters for leaving or allegedly wanting to leave. And then, he said in his own words in an interview that it were O'Leary that didn't want him. He went into the room and he felt disregarded, or whatever the word would be. So not in his own words, in my words, mate, not in Jimmy's words, my words. Who's Jimmy anyway? So I know you wouldn't take Jack Harrison back, and neither would I. I don't think we require him. I think we've got enough wingers anyway, yada yada yada. Next year we'll be up in Premier League. I won't really want him back myself, but if he does come back, as Aronson's proved, and he's better than Aronson and had a better career than Aronson and shown more for the club than Aronson, you'd have to just say, well, let's see what he comes up with. Again, if he ends up being like your 4th, 5th best winger at the club, we won't have to particularly use him as much as we did. It was also, I don't care what anybody says, one of our overall performers while we're in the Premier League and certainly in the Championship. And I know he frustrated everybody, but everybody at this level is going to frustrate. We don't have the finished article, do we? If he can... You cannot argue what his left foot's an absolute rifle, he can whip it in. Got a good delivery, he's got a good touch, got a good strike on goal. Doesn't always happen, but every now and again he's going to get a hat-trick. He's going to get 2 assists. It's just he's going to have games where he's on fire. To be on fire every single game, you're not playing for Leeds United in a relegation battle, are you? Or for Leeds United at the top of the Championship. You're playing elsewhere. It is what it is. Jack Harrison ain't coming back. I don't suggest he comes back. I don't particularly want him back. I just don't understand out of all of them why he's the one that gets pelters. Rant done, rant over. I didn't even mean to rant about it. I don't even feel that passionately about it. I did at the time. I forgot he even plays for us. I forgot he were out on loan. I forgot there were a chance he were coming back. What comes up must come out. Nobody do it how he does it, yes. 10 million for Kristensen. So, again, well, one of them, isn't he? Rasmus Kristensen. I mean, this is what I mean. I've got zero time for Kristensen. I don't even want him back. I thought all he was at the club was poor. Now, granted, at Frankfurt, which ironically is where Robin Koch ended up as well, his manager's come out and said, we are totally happy with him. He's a significant part of the group. He's brought a winning mentality. Like, Jesus, if he's the one bringing winning mentality, like, you know, I don't know how well you're doing. But in fairness to him, they are third in league. So I was hoping when I saw winning mentality and I went like, all right, yeah, let's have a look at this winning mentality. And they are third in Bundesliga, to be fair. So they're talking between like £10 million or anywhere up to sort of 15 million euros. They're talking about it. And he has played 8 games out of 10. Because initially I clicked on him, I thought, well, he's not playing because past few games, like I couldn't find him anywhere. I wasn't even on bench. But I think he's picked up a bit of a knock. But again, I'm not going to snoop that far in. I went about 4 games back. I thought this is enough now. Cup game or whatever he'd missed. And then, but I looked it up. He got injured towards end of last month. Picked up a knock. But, you know, big tough man, a big hard man. I remember when everybody were like, ailing out, Kristensen in the bloke's a Viking, mate. Yeah, and he runs like a Viking with 400 tons of armour on. He's dead, mate. Brown bread. My man Lee Bowyer, I didn't even know he'd done this, but obviously he got sacked, didn't he? We're at Birmingham he got sacked from, and there were some talks that he might end up being, before Farke, he might end up being the Leeds United manager, which Bowyer's probably my favourite ever Leeds footballer, so I couldn't help but sort of be up for that, even though I'm aware that it very rarely and never works, to be fair. But I was up for that. But he's in the Caribbean island, man. I didn't realise he manages Montserrat. So, diction recorder. Montserrat. It's a Caribbean island. Most of them aren't even professional footballers. But, you know, why not? Some lifestyle. You know, he's played at a very high level, hasn't he, Bowyer? I don't know how much money there is out there. I'm sure he's getting paid relatively well. But it's not like Saudi money, is it? Or whatever, where you just think, oh, you've no interest in... I think he just thought... Get on beach with our lass. But he said, it's very good, man. Love of the place. It's something completely different. Different to what I've done in the past, obviously, being in England. Managing the Championship and League One, man. And you get the herbal remedies. I have to bring it back to the Caribbean, man. What do you reckon to that, then? It's another... banned YouTube video. So, England dropouts. I wouldn't normally sort of even discuss England, but it's just worth, it's something's come up, so it must come out. There's been like 9 players, I think, that have dropped out, or up to, might even be more than 9. But they've all dropped out of the last couple of games for England. And to be fair to Harry Kane now, the only reason Harry Kane's saying this, I reckon, is because he's on chopping board, really. I think when Tuchel comes in, I think Kane's going to have a bit of a job on, because we're talking a couple of years off another sort of championship. Is he going to be around for it, or is Tuchel going to want to look to replace him sort of immediately, as in, like, you know, the long-term plan? He said, I think England come before everything. I think England come before everything. England comes before the club. England is the most important thing you play as a professional footballer. And Gareth was hot on that. And he wasn't afraid to make decisions if, you know, that started to drift from certain players. Yeah, it's a shame this week, obviously. I think it's a tough period of the season. Maybe that's been taken advantage of a little bit. I don't really like it, though, if I'm honest. I think England comes before anything, any club situation. So the people that have left are Trent Alexander-Arnold, Cole Palmer, Phil Foden, Jack Grealish, Saka, Bukayo Saka, Declan Rice, Aaron Ramsey, and that Colwill. They've all dropped out. And then this is mental to me. This is more mental to me than all else. So then Everton's Jared Branthwaite was one on the replacement players called up to the squad until he became the 9th player to withdraw. So he's been called up. You know, you think, I've got the call, I'm on my way in. Nah, mate, in a bit.
Boom.
JackCity, bitch. JackCity, bitch. Hey!
I don't wanna play no games. No, I don't wanna play no games. No.
promises. You do you and I'll do me, that's just the way it is. Don't wanna ever feel surprised, that's why I ask no